Trump breaking news. So many wins, Trump reformed the Supreme Court. He hasn't always won. Can we infer anything about the judge's decision in the Colorado ballot issue from Trump's prior legal losses? That the court rules against me so much is something the former president is really unhappy about. Trump mentioned a separate branch of government midway through his vehement rally remarks on January 6, 2021, which he concluded by calling on supporters to assemble at the Capitol. "The Supreme Court has not made me happy," he stated. "I enjoy it when they rule against me." Is there any validity to the argument put forth by the former president, who appointed a powerful conservative supermajority to the Supreme Court? The Supreme Court is hearing arguments in Trump's landmark case this week. The president campaigned on a pledge to usher in an age of so much winning, but may he end up losing? The justices will hear arguments from Trump's attorneys on Thursday over whether or not the president instigated an uprising on January 6, 2021, and so may be banned from running for office again. His three appointees, along with three others chosen by Republican presidents in the past, will sit on the bench. Trump has achieved some notable successes with this conservative 6-3 court, like as striking down the constitutional right to abortion, but his track record is unexpectedly uneven. Get ready to cast your ballot by perusing our voter guide to learn about the presidential candidates and their positions on important subjects. A Texas lawsuit seeking to reverse the outcomes in full swing. States was dismissed by the court following Trump's 2020 re-election loss. Not only did the court not block the congressional committee looking into January 6 from obtaining presidential materials, but it also granted access to his tax data to prosecutors in New York City and Congress. Additionally, the judges turned down Trump's request to intervene in the case involving the secret records found at his Mar-a-Lago estate in 2022. In addition, research conducted by law professors Lee Epstein and Rebecca Brown for an article published in Presidential Studies Quarterly shows that the Trump administration's performance at the Supreme Court was the lowest of any administration since Roosevelt's. The president of the Washington-based watchdog group Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics, Noah Bookbinder, made the following statement: "Whatever the politics of members of this Supreme Court may be, the court has a track record in cases involving Donald Trump of standing strong for oversight and accountability and for checks on his abuses of power." Bookbinder was speaking on behalf of the Colorado voters who are challenging Trump's ballot eligibility. Then, we anticipate that the court will conduct a thorough evaluation of the case and reach a conclusion in accordance with the law and the facts. University of Texas law professor Stephen Vladeck said that Trump's prior court losses are significant because, according to Vladeck, he may have anticipated more victories from a conservative court. The Colorado case, he added, is of far larger national importance and is unlikely to reveal the court's decision. Instead, Vladeck compares the current situation to previous court rulings on desegregation and whether or not President Nixon was required to surrender the Watergate tapes in an effort by the justices to play the role of neutral arbitrator and diffuse the tension. "However, I am not familiar with that appearance," he stated. "I don't see how everyone gets something ruling could bring together justices from different political persuasions. That, I believe, is exactly what we require at this very moment. The court must now speak in a manner that will not add fuel to the fire of the already simmering political tensions. The destiny of Trump could be decided by the Supreme Court in more contexts than just the Colorado argument. In a case that may influence the criminal charges against Trump for allegedly attempting to overthrow the 2020 election, it is contemplating challenging the approach taken by federal prosecutors in their pursuit of the rioters from January 6. It is also widely believed that Trump would seek a ruling from the Supreme Court stating that he is exempt from prosecution due to his status as a former president. With any luck, Trump will be able to keep the conservative supermajority he helped establish on the court even stronger if he wins the election and overcomes the legal challenges. That would further solidify the 2016 beginning relationship between Trump's political fortunes and the Supreme Court. He gained support from conservative Christians inside the Republican Party by pledging to fill the Supreme Court with anti-abortion justices, a move he claimed would automatically result in the overturning of Roe v. Wade. The three justices he appointed, Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett, supported this in 2022. Additionally, the conservative supermajority on the court invalidated affirmative action in higher education and established new criteria for assessing gun regulations. With no less than 3 candidates under the age of 60, Trump has transformed the court, which is one of his greatest achievements. Judges Clarence Thomas, 75 years old, and Samuel Alito, 73 years old, are the 2 senior conservatives on the Supreme Court. If Trump were to win the presidency again, he would have the opportunity to appoint younger justices who could ensure the longevity of the supermajority. According to Jon Favreau, a former speechwriter for President Barack Obama, the upcoming election is crucial for the Supreme Court. However, nobody seems to be paying attention to this yet. If Trump is elected, it is highly probable that Alito and Thomas will retire, and their positions will be filled with younger, even more extreme right-wing justices. Biden is relying on the Supreme Court's decision to strike down a constitutional right to abortion that has been in place for 50 years in the hopes that Trump may be swayed from his position. He describes the Dobbs decision as a miracle, Biden said last month in Virginia at his first big campaign speech for 2024. However, it's a living nightmare for American women. Trump doesn't have a clue about the power of women in America, Biden remarked of Trump. The justices rule against me so much to give the impression that they are neutral, he said, adding, the story is that they're my puppets. Now that they've realized it's bad for their social standing, the only way out is for them to stop doing it. He went on to say that the only way out is for them to rule against Trump. Then let us rule in Trump's favor. And that's what they do. Earlier this month, Trump echoed these sentiments on his Truth Social platform, lamenting the fact that Republican judges are very often afraid to do the right thing. Also, he said, they make really bad and unfair decisions while going to great lengths to demonstrate they are completely impartial.